crying is the last sign that your baby wants to eat. They look drunk of milk. Yesterday, a mom called me and she told me, Esther, I feel like I have a fever. If you feed your baby foods rich in vitamin A,
Cussons baby, Cussons baby, Cussons made with love. Happiness in every
a lot of mamas keep asking me, how do I know that my baby needs to eat or my baby needs to feed? Your baby is communicating with you all the time. When babies want to eat, they'll do several things. And they start off, first of all, if they were asleep, they start stirring around. You hear some movements on the cot or on the bed. And then they start moving their heads from side to side. And they're like, okay, mama, you've not had me. Then they'll start smacking their lips. And then they'll even start moving their lips up and down. And if you don't get it, they get more frantic. They bring their hands to their mouth, they're smacking, they're eating their fingers, they're salivating, and finally they start to cry very, very loudly to say that they want to eat. So crying is the last sign that your baby wants to eat. It's important to catch your baby before they get to the crying stage, because if you get to the crying stage, it is harder to attach the baby because the baby will not be able to open their mouth and close if they are crying. If they are crying, first comfort them, let them calm down, and then attach them to the breast. How do you know that your baby is getting enough milk? Your baby still speaks to you because from the breast, sometimes you cannot quantify how much the baby has taken. Your best guides are observing your baby. Number one, they will have wet diapers. You will have about 6 to 8 diapers in 24 hours from about day 6. From day 1, they'll have 1 diaper. Day 2, 2 diapers of urine. Day 3, 3 diapers. And then from day 4, they go to about 5 diapers. And from day 7, they'll have 6 to 8 diapers in 24 hours, sometimes more. Nowadays, the diapers are really good. They can have a urine indicator so that you don't have to guess, but keep tracking your baby's diapers because that's one of the most important way to know your baby's getting enough. They will have stool. You'll find a lot of time they'll be passing stool often. In the first days, because your milk has a laxative effect, they'll poo a lot of times. They start off from the black poo called meconium on day 1. It transitions to about green on day 3. And now from day 5, they have the mustard yellow poo. As long as they are passing this poo, it is yellow, it is a lot, then you know that your baby is okay. But with poo, sometimes the babies might skip, and that's normal for breastfed babies. They can skip up to about even 5 days and we know it's okay. But poo is another good sign to know that your baby is having enough milk. When you do go for clinic, your baby will be able to have added a bit of weight. They'll have grown in height, their head circumference will increase, showing that the baby's brain is growing. So that's a very positive way of knowing that your baby is growing. What about clothes? Initially, when they start wearing clothes, they are loose. The baby looks like they are floating inside the clothes. And then suddenly, the clothes are tight. You need to go to the next size. The diapers are leaking because they are now too small. You need to go to the next size. So physically, the baby's cheeks feel out. The baby starts getting some rolls. So all those are signs that your baby is getting enough milk. If your baby is always fussing, the baby's eyes look dry, the baby's fontanelle, the soft spot up here, looks sunken. The baby is not passing urine, or sometimes when they pass urine, it looks like it has red stains in it. All those signs are signs that your baby might not be getting enough. And ideally, you should seek medical attention so that they can see what's happening with your baby. Why isn't the baby getting enough milk? Additionally, you will feel like your breasts have softened after a feed. So before they felt full, they had a sense of fullness. After the feed, the breast feels soft. You'll be hearing active swallowing sounds from your baby. You know, they are swallowing. You'll see their throat moving up and down in a swallowing motion. You will also find like the baby seems happy and satisfied. We call it milk drunk. They look drunk of milk after the feed. Those are all good signs that your baby is getting enough milk from the breast. The breastfeeding journey can have some challenges, especially in the early weeks. It takes a bit of time for you and your baby to figure it out. Some of the common challenges are just adjusting a few things. Some challenges will need medical help, but in all of these challenges, always seek help if things do not seem to be resolving soon. So how do you deal with some of the challenges? Let's talk about sore nipples. Sore nipples are common in the early days, but most times the soreness can come from the baby not being able to attach properly to the breast. There's a difference between sore nipples and cracked nipples. Sore nipples can just be normal. They stay for a few days. It's as your nipples get used to the baby feeding, but you are not feeling excruciating pain through the feed. In a few days, it resolves. But then we do get cracked nipples. Cracked nipples generally happen when the baby attaches wrongly or poorly onto the breast. It means that the baby's gums are getting trapped at the nipple. The best way is to ensure that the baby gets a good latch where they open their mouth wide and the nipple goes further in to the highest point of the mouth, and then the gums come to the areola so that the nipple is out of the way. Once you attach the baby that way, then you find it's no longer cracking, it's no longer sore. One of the common challenges that you hear some moms talking about is low milk supply. To be honest, sometimes the baby is just fine, adding weight well, there's lots of poo, lots of pee. Then your baby might be acting a certain way, like crying for other reasons, but you still have good milk supply. Those are good signs. But sometimes there is a reason to worry. If this happens, the first thing that we do is baby back on breast. Remember, the breast milk is made by baby coming to the breast. The more the baby breastfeeds, the more the milk is made. So you want to have the baby coming to your breast, especially at night, because night feeds stimulate the most milk. The highest levels of hormones, the hormone that makes milk, is higher at night. So when you breastfeed your baby at night, you actually stimulate more milk. Day and night, give the baby the breast. The other thing that you can do is ensure you take enough food, enough fluids, you're eating well, you're eating a balanced diet, you're taking enough fluids. Remember, breast milk is primarily water. Water is the transporter. It's the medium that the body uses to transport the milk. So ensure that you're taking enough fluids. You want to have some rests. Resting whenever the baby is resting. I know it sounds like a cliche, but to be honest, that's the only way you'll be able to get a bit of rest. When the baby sleeps for 2 hours, try and also get some rest. Ensure that you reduce or limit your stress. Stress and the breastfeeding hormones cannot be together. So once you look for ways to just relax, if there's a stressful situation, try and work it out, because that will help your milk to flow. Oxytocin, which is the hormone that makes milk to squeeze out of the breast, is a relaxation hormone. So the more relaxed you are, the better your milk will be able to flow. Getting lots of support. If you have other children, maybe older children, get some help. That allows you to be able to do these other things so that the milk can flow. Once in a while, or sometimes every day, your baby will behave in a very unusual manner. They will come to the breast, they rest for 20 minutes, feed, then they look like, I'm done. Then half an hour later, they're hungry again and looking at you like, I want to feed now. Then they rest, they sleep, then 10 minutes later, they're up. That is called cluster feeding. Now, cluster feeding is a normal behavior of breastfed babies, and this is part of nature's way to stimulate your milk. When your baby keeps coming to the breasts during these sessions, that stimulates that part of your brain that removes the hormones for milk. Cluster feeding will happen sometimes in the morning. For some babies, it will happen in the evening. For sometimes they'll have it in the middle of the night. My baby used to do it at 3 a.m. in the morning, and she'll do that for about 3 hours, and then she's good. She goes back to her routine feeding. Cluster feedings are important. Don't fight them. It doesn't mean that you don't have enough milk. Baby is just wired to stimulate your supply like that. As your baby grows, there are times that they will have accelerated points of growth, and these are called growth spurts. For most newborn babies, that will happen about day 7 to 10, about 3 weeks, about 5 weeks, and it will continue on and on. In this period of times, that baby will want to feed all the time. They'll be very, very fussy. They will sleep for long periods, but when they wake up, they are extremely hungry. For most of these reasons, most moms will think like, my baby is not getting full. But during growth spurts, all your baby needs you to do is continue to feed. That's how your body knows that the baby is growing. And after a growth spurt, you'll find that your supply has actually gone higher. So allow yourself to relax, sit down, just feed your baby, and soon the growth spurt will be over because it doesn't last for long. Another very common challenge for new mamas is what we call engorgement. Now, engorgement is when your breast is so full of milk, when you touch it, it feels like there's a stone. You almost can't press forward or through the breast. It's very, very hard. That usually means that the milk has come in, but it's not flowing out fast enough. In the early days when it's colostrum, the milk is very thick. It takes a bit of a struggle for your baby to get milk out, and your body sometimes does not know just how much milk to make because your baby is still trying to stimulate it. So the most important thing is to feed your baby. Feeding your baby often, not allowing your baby to sleep for too long, every 2 to 3 hours, waking them up so that they can actually feed and empty the breast. In between, you can put cold compresses because cold compresses will ease off the hardness. It will ease off the inflammation that's happening. Another thing that you can do just before feeding, you can take a warm compress, something warm, apply on the breast, like with a small towel, just around the breast. You can also shake the breast lightly because that allows the milk to flow and circulation to increase. And then if the breast itself, around the areola is very hard, you can actually just gently knead the nipple around to soften the area to allow the baby to be able to latch on and remove the milk. Avoid doing a deep tissue massage because that will cause more damage to the breast tissue, which is very, very delicate, and that can lead to infection. Once you fed the baby, take something cold, apply, could be something from the fridge, and you apply around the breast, and that will ease off and cool off the inflammation. Feeding your baby often, both day and night, will keep the milk flowing, and it will help you prevent engorgement. Yesterday, a mom called me and she told me, Esther, I feel like I have a fever, I have chills, I'm just alternating between fever and chills. I feel like I have malaria. And my first question to her was like, how is the breast? Is the breast painful? And she told me, how did you know? Yes, it's very painful. And I was like, uh-oh, I think you've gotten an infection. That's called mastitis. So mastitis is an infection of the breast that happens suddenly, and most times it happens if you've not been emptying the milk often, so you do need to see your doctor. Mastitis is a bacterial infection. You need to go to hospital to get it treated. Without treatment, it can actually become a serious disease. See your doctor urgently, and once you go home, continue feeding your baby because you do need to empty that breast, and your baby is the best way to empty the breast, and it will aid in quick healing of that particular breast. Sometimes you might get a lump on your breast. That's called a clogged duct or a plugged duct. The ducts in your breast flow, taking milk to the nipple, and sometimes they can get a little blockage, either because maybe you slept on your arm or on your breast, or you wore a tight bra that caused circulation not to flow. Little things can cause a blocked duct. If you feel a lump, you can massage it with your thumb, going towards your armpit if it's nearer to the armpit, and if it's nearer to the nipple, going towards the nipple. So you just do a circular motion. You can put a bit of oil to help you slide along your breast. Circular motion going towards the nipple. That will help the lump to unblock as the baby feeds. Women's bodies are amazing. Breasts come in different shapes and sizes. Some are bigger, some are smaller, some have big nipples, have a small nipple, some are inverted. All these breasts are perfect for your baby. You might need to experiment with different breastfeeding positions, but ultimately you will get the one that works for you and your baby. If you do struggle, reach out to a lactation specialist. They're going to be able to help. And ultimately, always remember, in breastfeeding, size doesn't matter. your breast is perfect for your baby. At about 6 months of age, your baby needs to start eating solids. This process is called complementary feeding. A long time ago, we used to call it weaning, but now we don't want to call it weaning because it means that you're stopping to breastfeed. In this case, you are just adding on to breast milk. Breast milk remains the main food for your baby, and the solids that you're giving the baby complement it, not replace it. Complementary feeding at this point is particularly important because the nutrients that are in breast milk stop being quite enough, so the baby needs additional nutrients. This process should ideally start after 6 months or at 6 months of age, and it's not to be feared. It should be a fun time and a time to help your baby have a great relationship with food. So what do you consider when you're introducing solids? The first thing that we say is that, is it the right time? Your baby at least should be 6 months. Before that time, if your baby is 3 months, 4 months, your baby is not yet ready. Their gut is not yet ready to digest solids. If it's too late, it's 8 months, your baby will already have nutritional deficiencies. So ensure you stick around there, get the help, start the process so that your baby can be healthy. The second thing to consider is it the right amount? When you start giving your baby food, give the right portions. Remember, your baby's tummy is the size of a small egg. We don't want to overfeed them, because if we do, then we make them not take the milk, the breast milk that they're supposed to be taking, or we might make them feel so uncomfortable because we've given them so much food, and then they make a bad association with food and actually decide, I don't want food, or start getting constipated. At 6 months, we offer the baby 2 to 3 tablespoons at the beginning. Keep going until about 9 months. It's about 6 to 8 spoons, and about 1 year is when your baby should be eating a full cup. So go slowly, don't be too fast. We also want to look at the adequacy in terms of nutrition, a balanced diet from all food groups, not just malenge or pumpkin and butternut and spinach. No, your baby needs to eat their proteins, they need their fats, they need their carbohydrates, they need their fruits and their vegetables. So feed your baby a balanced diet so that they can thrive and grow as they should. The third thing that you should consider, is it the right quality? What this means is the food safe for your baby? Is it hygienically provided and produced and cooked? Is it fresh? Is it served in clean containers? Are you washing your baby's hands? Because your baby needs to interact with their food. Please don't give your baby food in bottles, because that can lead to choking hazards. Ensuring that you're not giving foods that can easily choke the baby, like groundnuts, like grapes. All these things are factors to consider, ensuring that your baby is safe as they eat their food. The fourth factor to consider, is it the right frequency? We need to do what we call responsive feeding. When your baby is breastfeeding, they come to the breast, they come, they feed. When they want to feed, they feed. When they don't want, you can't force them. It should be the same when it comes to solids. Watch for your baby's hunger signs, feed them then. Don't force feed, because force feeding can create a negative biofeedback from the baby, and the baby now makes these associations that I'm being forced, and they can refuse to feed. And once they refuse, it's a war you can't win. Feed the baby when they want to be fed. Respect their no. They might eat 2-3 spoons, then they push away the spoon, they look away, they start blowing bubbles. They're telling you, I'm done. It's good to respect that and not force feed them. If they want to eat, they will open their mouth wide, they'll be happy, they'll be reaching out to the food, and ultimately, they communicate to you. It is good to respect the cues that your baby gives you. What does a balanced diet look like at 6 months for your baby? We're trying to bridge a gap. One of the gaps that's there is energy, and energy is given by carbohydrates and starches. That's the first food that we look for when we feed our babies. For babies, carbohydrates is king. Babies need a lot of energy. They are playing, they play all the time, they are growing, they require energy almost like a football player. So give them that ugali, give them rice, give them potatoes. All the starches that you eat in your family should be given to your baby. The second food that's so key for your baby is proteins. Proteins are good sources of iron. That's another gap that's happening at 6 months. Your baby's iron stores that they stored during pregnancy are now coming to an end. So the baby needs to start to eat foods rich in iron. These are foods like animal sources of protein, like beef, like chicken liver, like fish. All these are very good sources. We've got plant sources like beans and lentils, those pulses that we love in our homes. Please give your baby. You can add something rich in vitamin C to help the absorption of iron, like tomato or even a bit of green peppers. Those are great for your baby. The next gap that your baby has at 6 months is vitamin A. In mama's milk, the vitamin A that was there is slowly coming to an end. Your baby needs to get these vitamins from food. Where do we get vitamin A? From colored vegetables. Think the green, the orange, the yellow, sometimes the blue. Is there a blue vegetable? I don't know. The purple, we have purple cabbage. All those colored vegetables are really rich in vitamin A. We kind of say feed the baby your rainbow. A wide array of colors in that plate will give more nutrients. To optimize absorption of all these nutrients, it's important to ensure that you give your baby healthy fats and oils. There is a myth that babies shouldn't eat fats, but that's not true. Oils help the absorption of some of the minerals and vitamins that we eat. For example, we've got oil-soluble vitamins like vitamin A that we talked about. If you feed your baby foods rich in vitamin A and you don't cook that food with oil, then it means that that baby cannot absorb that mineral. If you eat carrots and you just boiled them and you didn't add oil, the baby cannot get the vitamin A from the carrots. So fry your baby's food. Let the baby enjoy the same food as the rest of the family. It's been fried with healthy fats. Add avocado to the baby's food, and ultimately that will be able to optimize how much nutrients the baby is able to absorb from the foods that they are eating. It is good to offer foods that are rich in vitamin C to your baby. The richest food in vitamin C are fruits and some vegetables. These are usually very sweet, so ideally don't offer them too early as a fast food because they are very sweet. So some babies, once they taste the richness of the sweetness of the orange or the banana, they're not gonna want to eat the bland food. So offer the bland foods first and then move on to fruits and vegetables. Your breast milk still has lots of vitamin C, so we don't rush too much to the fruits because as long as your baby is breastfeeding, they're getting adequate forms of vitamin C in that. But slowly, as the baby grows older, introduce the fruits and the vegetables, and you're gonna have a baby who's healthy and full of immunity and is able to fight those colds and flus. Hey! Time to bust a myth. Is it true that you need to wash your nipples before breastfeeding? Well, not really. This is not necessary. Your breasts produce a smell that smells like amniotic fluid that helps stimulate the baby's suck reflex. They also have good bacteria. So when the baby comes to feed, this bacteria populates their gut and helps build your baby's immunity. Myth busted, yes? Good nutrition in the first 1,000 days, that's from conception to age 2, is the building blocks for your baby's brain development. Feed them well. Join me next time as we talk about first year wonders and baby early milestones. For more information on your bump to baby journey, follow us on our socials.